This rehearsal process has actually been one of my favorites that I've ever done here, and in any show really, because we got to kick it off a week before we had to come back to school. I think that really got us into the heart of the play really quickly and for like an extended amount of time, like right off the bat.
As Mark said earlier, we gotta come in early, we gotta be here for a week and just rehearse 9 hours a day and get immersed in this play and get really familiar and immersed with each other. And another part of it is it's really scary. It can be really scary coming in here 4 hours out of every single night and putting yourself in this really scary, really dark world.
This piece has many, many challenges. It usually has two conversations going on at once, especially in the beginning and on the end, and at the end. When everyone's out on stage, it can get very chaotic. You really have to listen a lot when you're acting in this play. So it's a very chaotic piece, and then there's the polar opposite of just like stillness and monologue work. So I feel like I've gotten the best of both of those styles of acting and theater that this piece presents to us. So it's just been very challenging, but the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
There are so many conversations going on at once. There's so much business. You're constantly having to care for yourself, but if you care for yourself as an actor instead of as a character, you miss all your cues, you miss all your lines. You constantly need to be pretending like you're not paying attention to everyone else while paying attention to everybody else in the room. So there's constantly people pushing past you, there's constant clutter, there's always uncomfortable, tight spaces. We have violence, a lot of fights that need to be really, really specifically choreographed. I have a really violent fight scene where I almost kill a girl with a fork over what I consider one of my best friends and her girlfriend. It's a lot of fun. Come see it. I get my head smashed into the table, pull a fork off, try and shank her. We're not particularly classy people. I know my collar throws a lot of people off.
I think they should expect to be disturbed. I think they should expect to be uncomfortable. I think that that's an incredible thing that theater can do. Theater is to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. And I think that this is a lot more of the afflicting of the comfortable. It's a play about people on the edge, people who are desperate for connection, desperate for love, and it's a lot of people who got deterred from perhaps the path that they desired to take in life. I think that this play is really going to make people reflect a lot on their own lives, and this play exposes people to a darker side of humanity. But the most important part of that word is the human. These people are all human. So the audience is going to be gonna go through a whole hell of a ride.
It's a different world. It's a completely different world. It's grit and discomfort, a lot of grime, a lot of really nasty characters. We're not inviting them into this and expecting them to have a good, exciting, happy time. They're going to be leaving reflecting on a lot of things. And I think it's going to be really interesting knowing that people are going to be leaving this and going back to their lives and them having to deal with the fact that the characters that they saw in this show and that the people that they just spent 2 hours with don't get to go back home to a different life. And I really hope that people leave thinking that, because it's a different world.
Hey, travel around. I mean, hustlers travel around.
And they cut down through 1 century to the one before it, and the one before that.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?